April 10th, 1912. A day filled with hope, pride, and dreams. The RMS Titanic, the largest and most luxurious ship ever built, stood tall like a floating palace. They called her Unsinkable, a triumph of modern engineering. And with that confidence, she set sail from Southampton, bound for New York. On board were more than 2,000 souls, the wealthy and the working class, lovers, families, children, all chasing new beginnings across the ocean. As the ship glided away from the shore, music played, flags waved, and hearts were full of joy. No one imagined that many of those goodbyes would be the last. 4 days later, the night of April 14th arrived. The sea was calm, the stars bright, the air cold and clear. In the distance, a silent danger waited, a mountain of ice. Then came the warning. Iceberg ahead! Engines reversed, the great ship turned, but fate had already been written. A deep shudder ran through the hull as the iceberg tore into her side. Steel screamed, water rushed in, and the Titanic's destiny began to sink with her. At first, few believed it. Passengers laughed, unaware that the ocean was already claiming the lower decks. Then confusion turned to fear. Crewmen shouted orders. Families gathered on the deck under the freezing night sky. Women and children first, echoed through the darkness. But there were only 20 lifeboats, far too few for everyone on board. As panic spread, the band continued to play. Their music floated through the cold air, a final comfort amidst chaos. Some passengers prayed, others held the hands of the ones they loved. Mothers kissed their children. Fathers promised they would be right behind them, knowing they never would. The ship tilted higher. Lights flickered, screams filled the air, and the sound of breaking metal thundered across the waves. Then, in one final roar, the Titanic broke in two. The stern lifted toward the stars, hung there for a moment, and then disappeared beneath the black water. 1,500 lives were lost that night. The Atlantic was silent again, except for the cries fading into the distance. Hours later, the rescue ship Carpathia found the survivors, cold, terrified, staring into the endless sea where a marvel of human ambition had once floated. When the news reached the world, disbelief turned to sorrow. Newspapers carried the headline, "Titanic sinks, hundreds dead." But the numbers could never tell the stories behind them. A mother who wrapped her child in her coat before slipping beneath the waves. A musician who refused to stop playing. A captain who stood on his bridge until the end. The Titanic was more than a ship. It was a symbol of human confidence and a lesson in humility. For all our power, nature remains stronger. Today, the Titanic rests deep beneath the Atlantic Ocean, 2.5 miles below the surface. Her decks are silent, her walls covered in rust and memories. Yet her story continues to echo across time. The ship that was called Unsinkable sank, but her story will never drown.